Hey Terp fans, it is Mr. Smiley here with something a little bit different. We're going to do a spotlight on Valk attacks against Town Hall 10s and Town Hall 11s, featuring yours truly. With the news that dropped today that we're going to get Valkyrie 5 at Town Hall 10, and that Valkyrie are going to start doing their damage even earlier and have more damage but slightly fewer hit points. Valk are going to become even more relevant at Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11 than they are now, which is awesome news for clans like us that really love Valk attacks. So here, as you can see, we've got BJ at Town Hall 9 up in Champs doing Valkgasm. He's now a believer. Terps01 does a nice job on a 3-star on a Town Hall 10 with Valkgasm, very similar to mine here. But since I did it, and of course I think I'm awesome, I'm going to go ahead and use my attack as, kind of to demonstrate what I look for in a farming raid using the Valkgasm comp. And once the Town Hall 11 update dropped, I started playing around with this. I had been kind of fascinated by the Valkyrie Tornado attack, where you use healers and giants to distract the defense and then send Valkyrie up the middle. So I basically used the same troop comp and then just adapted it for a queen walk. So when scouting a base like this, what I look for, the Nemesis base, which is what this is called with the 4 corners, is the perfect base for a 10 versus 10 Valkgasm attack. It's that ring around that basically all you have to do is funnel. But funneling is kind of tricky, but once you get used to it, it can be really easy on most of these bases. So you want your core to go in here. You're going to open up here with an earthquake. So let's talk about why I chose that side. Basically, with the queen walk, like with most queen walks, the risk is that I'm going to drag my healers in front of an air defense. So I want to take the closest air defense to the outside, and that's where I drop my queen. You can still do it even if you can't reach the air defenses, but this is perfect for a Valkgasm attack. So I'm going to drop my queen and 4 healers here. As you'll see with one of the war attacks, I do use 5 healers sometimes. On war attacks for raiding, I just use the 4. And here, this is a very low Dark Elixir comp. You really just have the 6 Valkyrie and 3 of your own Earthquakes that are Dark Elixir. So then we're going to drop the queen up here, and then I'm going to drop the row of giants and wizards here, and you're going to try to break open the wall over here closest to the queen, and that creates the funnel. So the wizards start destroying this outer row of defense here, and so the giants don't want to go this way, and they only want to go this way or this way, and because you've eliminated this, maybe this one with the queen, they have nowhere else to go other than into the core. So your coring squad takes out this, and then your queen just walks around the base, in front of the air defenses and takes out everything else. So that's the basic concept on the 10 versus 10 attack on these box bases. Let's go ahead and let's watch the attack. So we're going to drop the quad quake there on the corner, giving easy access to the core to my kill squad. I'm going to drop the queen. She's going to clear away a little bit of trash. Like I said, where possible, you want to drop her in front of that air defense. So here, sometimes the wall breakers will go into that corner pocket, like they do on this one. That's not a big deal. Just drop your first rage on the outside a little bit, but they do end up opening up a pocket there. But if they hadn't, the giants and the Valkyrie with nowhere else to go would still go from the pocket straight into the core. So you can drop the freeze on the first Inferno or the second. Ideally, you'd want to drop it on the second, but especially where I'm not carrying a poison like this in most raids, I go ahead and just try to drop the freeze on the clan castle troops and the first Inferno, and then drop the heal there, and my wizards will usually make quick work of the clan castle troops, because in raiding you're less likely to get a hound and you're more likely to get some other sort of clan castle troop. So here, at this point, anything that could potentially destroy my queen is probably dead. In the aggregate, sometimes you'll get some wacky stuff and you won't get 3 stars, or you'll run out of time, or the healers will float away. But for the most part, once you core out that base, really at this point, it's just a it's just a queen walk. And so I have a couple minions on some bases. There are a couple of trash buildings on the outside that are not accessible by your queen. So when you're scouting bases for war, you want to make sure you know where all the trash buildings are. You don't want to end up with a 98%. Because you didn't have 2 minions. So it's worth it to carry a couple of minions instead of the wizards. I like carrying 2 minions just because the 6 Valkyrie don't take much time in my queue for the dark barracks. The regular troops take more time. And also that way I don't instead of bringing a wizard, I might accidentally drop him. With the minions, it's a completely separate troop type, so I'm less likely to drop it. So let's go ahead and let's watch a war attack that is really similar to that one. This one is, I'm using the army composition that is similar. Not this war. An army composition that is similar to my rating my rating comp, but it is more like the one that Mocha Boys introduced with his Warrior Farmer series. So again, I'm not going to go ahead and illustrate this, but you will see that this is almost exactly the same as the other one. So I dropped the Quadquake right there. As you can see, the air defense is also easily accessible by the queen. This is not the strongest Town Hall 10, but it is an 83. I'm an 86, at least defensively with max heroes. But this can be done by, once you get your heroes up to about 30, you have a good shot of 3-starring a Nemesis box base like this with this comp. So there we go with the 2 golem setting the kill squad entry instead of all those giants, and those are a little bit more dependable. And you have 8 Valkyrie instead of 6. You do have the clan castle full of giants, and you're just going to funnel those straight to the core. You have a 3rd rage on this, and the 3rd rage I like because you have the option of dropping it on the queen if she starts getting in trouble, or you can just spam rages into the core. And with the golems still up, instead of 21 giants with my rating comp, the heal becomes a little bit less important because you're not as worried about splash damage. And there you can see those wizards are going to take care of the pups. The Burger King is going to chop through the back end of the core. A couple Valkyries come out to do some damage. Golem's gonna come and tank for me, which is both good and bad. It's nice that the queen is in even less danger, but sometimes that golem can distract the healers. So let's go ahead and fast forward this. King's down, golem down there at the bottom, and there you see, like I said, the golem ends up dragging the healers into the air defense, which is not ideal, but that's why I popped the queen's cloak a little bit early. But clean up, nice job me for the 3-star here. Be curious to see whether the added damage of the Valkyrie are still going to allow us to 3-star when it goes back down to 3 minutes. So I want to show a couple of now 3 different 10 versus 11 attacks showing the rating comp. And the reason why I like the rating comp for the 10 versus 11 attack is, of course, not only do the giants provide some extra damage, but then the eagle does not do triple damage to giants like it does to the golem. So here I look at this base. This is one of those kind of trap bases where you have all your damage up here, and a lot of times they try to trick you into sending all your troops into this area, which even if you get that town hall for the 1-star, you're not likely to get to 50% for the 2nd-star. So here I see that you've got down here on the bottom half of this base, you have all this percentage. You do have a little bit of DPS here that you have to be concerned about for the queen. So I decided that my queen hopefully will get in here and take this eagle. But even if she does not, she's going to, with 1 rage, she's going to take out a whole ton of percent down here. So I don't know how much percent down here. I'm hoping about 25, 30%. And that eagle, I'm not going to do an extended walk where I take out the eagle before I deploy the kill squad, but I am going to hope that as my kill squad goes through here into the core to get that 2nd star, that my queen does end up trying to chew through these walls and take out the eagle. Ends up not happening. I do want to show one nifty trick, and I do it on another one of the attacks also, but that's the using an offset earthquake in order to create a very, very narrow funnel. So with the core dive here, my goal is I need to take out this inferno, I need to take out this inferno, and I need this town hall for the star. So that is my goal here. I don't really care about, I don't want to get all here. I don't want to go down here because then I won't get my objectives here. So I want to create as narrow a channel as possible. And the way I do that is I drop one quake here and one quake here, and the overlap, this one will go out to here. I know that's not to scale, but this one will go out to here, and I'll do all that massive damage of the first quake to, to any of the buildings that are within these ranges. But really why I'm doing that is because I want to create as narrow a path as possible into that core. So let's go ahead and let's watch how that's done. So there I go with the, you can see that it overlaps only on about 3 areas. I'm not creating a huge opening for my kill squad where I risk them going off somewhere. Dropping the queen, make sure I drop the healers as far away from that air defense as possible. Drop the rage. Again, primarily I want to make sure that I get the healers more so than the queen, because the walls here are pretty crappy. And with the rage, I only carry 2 wall breakers there, and then an extra wall breaker. Usually I only have 3 wall breakers. This time I have 4, just so I can bust through for the kill squad too. Although there aren't many trash buildings around here for the kill squad, that they'll just chew through the skull walls anyway. But especially on a 10 versus 11, I am going for the 2-star, so I don't really worry as much about cleanup minions. Here we go. The eagle's going to lock on now because I've flooded the area with troops. I can't tell whether the wall breakers got caught in that splash or not, but it doesn't really matter because I have enough DPS there to get through. And here I carry the heal because that eagle with the splash damage, I'm worried that it's going to destroy my giants. And so that's why I have the heal instead of the 3rd rage there. As I get closer to the core, I want to make sure that I get in there really quickly. And even if I can't get to that 2nd inferno, as long as I can take out that town hall, I should be pretty good. And with the raiding comp, I have a lot more wizards, so those tend to kill the pups a little bit better than the golem comp that has some fewer wizards. So this way it didn't exactly work out that way, and a couple pups come over to the queen. But by this point, I have my 2 stars, and it's really just kind of for the sick thrill of it, watching all my troops die. There we go. So 62%. Again, this is a 98K Town Hall 11, which is pretty strong. Let's go ahead and let's watch 2 other variations of this attack. One on a 98K and one on a 100K. So again, these are pretty strong Town Hall 11s. Hopefully with the update, we also won't have to see a lot of 10 versus 11s, not as much as we had before. So the air defense is accessible to the outside. So usually my go-to is a hero clear out Dragloon, where I use the heroes to take out 1 air defense, and then I use a hound on a 2nd one and then come through. Here I'm a little bit worried that if I drop my heroes without a wizard to funnel them in, that all these trash buildings here are just going to make my heroes go all around the base, and I'm not going to get that air defense, and I'm not going to get a lot of value out of my 2 recently fully maxed heroes. So what I'm doing here is, again, I see here this is a super narrow path to 1 star. So I need that star. And again, I'm going to do the offset quake. So I'm going to open up a nice little path here, so my kill squad has nowhere else to go except right straight towards that town hall. Probably won't get this 2nd inferno, but that doesn't really matter as long as I get that town hall. And then the queen, I'm just going to drop down here, and she is basically a percentage machine. So if this base was a little bit more spread out, I would have dropped her early. But I want all of these, especially this expo, the queen, maybe these. I want these all pointed towards my kill squad to the extent possible. So I drop her. I think I dropped her first, but it's not an extended queen walk. She's there purely to pick up some percentage so that I get the second star. So let's go ahead and watch this attack. There you can see I drop one earthquake on one side of the Burger King's platform, and then 3 on the other, creating a nice clear path towards that town hall. Dropping the queen at the beginning of the attack, but I know she's going to be occupied by the trash there, that she's just there for a little bit of funneling. You don't really need a lot of funneling on this base because all the defenses are in the middle, or on the interior, so my giants are going to go all towards the interior while my wizards clear out all the trash. There, as soon as I drop my giants, the eagle's going to come down. I don't need the rage for the queen, so I can go ahead and have a path of rage to have those 2 rages. There we go with the inferno. I drop a heal, or the freeze on the inferno. I drop a heal. Of course, with the second inferno there, I'm not going to heal all of my pack, but I have a huge mess of giants and Valkyrie and wizards and my king in there that, all except for 5 of them are going to get healed. So that's going to be some pretty good coverage there. Value out of my heal. End up breaking through there, and I do get the eagle, but at this point I'm taking too much damage, and with that expo up there too, not really a 3-star attack, but did get the second star, and there, my healers are tanking for my minions to, just pick up some extra percentage in the event that there's a tiebreaker or something. So let's go ahead and let's watch another 10 versus 11. And I don't like this attack on the Nemesis bases because there's just so much room to go through, and it's kind of a slow rolling queen walk that I prefer the Dragloon on those. But again, this is one where I can do a queen walk away from the town hall, because again, this is where a lot of defenses are going to be, and it's going to try to trap you in this pocket so that you end up with a 33% 1-star. So I'm going to start out here again, like the attack a couple of attacks ago. I'm not actually trying to get this eagle before I send my kill squad, but I'm hoping that I can clear out a chunk of this percentage here, and then as my kill squad comes in here, that eventually the queen will take out the eagle, and maybe enough of this kill squad will survive that it can come out there and even get the 3-star. Again, this is a 100 strength Town Hall 11, so that's not likely. But it still allows me to get the percentage for the second star. So let's go ahead and watch the attack. Bust it open with some wall breakers. Make sure that before you send the wall breakers that the queen is tanking as many defenses as possible. These all are Town Hall 10 max defenses, so I am going to need a rage out there. This time I don't really need the channel with the offset earthquakes, so I just go ahead and put a path right into there. I could have gotten cute with it, but I think this was sufficient to have the giants come on either side and then overload the middle. So the queen is providing funneling on one side, half of the original giant pack is on the other side, and then the other half of the giant pack with the clan castle giants and the Valkyrie and my king all shoot up through the middle. Again, freeze one of the inferno. Since there's a single, I want to freeze the multi just so I can heal as much of my packs as possible. There they go in towards the town hall. Because of that inferno, you want to pop that king's ability early. Single inferno have an uncanny ability to sense your king and lock on that before anything else. So as soon as the single inferno starts feeling around to find somebody to lock onto, just go ahead and pop that ability, because you might as well get the rage and all those barbarians as kind of distraction So here we've gotten the 50%. We ended up getting the eagle, so there's nothing that's going to, the eagle's not going to take out the queen herself. It'd be awesome if I had another rage here, but I don't. And so at this point, all these defenses here are going to overwhelm my queen. Maybe I could have done this with 5 healers. You know, we'll see. Something to play around with. Hopefully after this update, I'll be matched up against Town Hall 10s much more than Town Hall 11s and won't have to worry about it. But it's also always nice to have an option where your 10s can attack up to kill an 11 and allows your 11 easy 3 stars on Town Hall 10s. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you you get something out of it. And until next time, let's go Terps.